And let's try a different camera angle today, I think. So the first thing I'm going to show you, and there's a reason I kind of want to show you these, is we have this set of 4 Christmas stencils. So these are all A5 stencils. I don't know if these sold out. I know they were near sellout. I think they went on to extended dispatch, didn't they? So if you do order, please just kind of bear with us, because we are literally inundated with orders after yesterday. But these are awesome, and there's a reason why I want to show you these. These are they kind of are special. I'm going to say they're special. So let me grab some dark cardstock so that we can see what we're doing. Okay, so there's 4 Christmas stencils, like I said. I'll show you each of them. So this one is just kind of like, you know, we all need a Christmas tree stencil. Sorry, just looking at your note, Jeanette. Okay. Jeanette, email me. Website at polkadoodles.co.uk. I did reply back to you. So it has been sorted as far as I'm aware. Yeah, Jeanette, sorry everyone. Just email me, Jeanette, please. Website at polkadoodles.co.uk. And I definitely did respond to you, and I definitely have done it. So I'll get you sorted out. So I'm not going to look at the screen for a while, because it distracts me. I get so distracted, and then I can't multitask. So we all need a standard Christmas tree. Now this is super pretty. This tree, it's lovely. So what this creates, so these are A5, so they're quite big stencils. Oh, Christine's here. Hello, Christine. So let me show you what then you end up with. So this is it once it's actually stenciled. Now I've done these on white on purpose because I want you to see what, in fact, I can't actually show you my stenciled version because Dawn's got them. I sent them to her, I've just realised. So I'm going to have to colour these anyway. But can you see, I've just embossed this on white, and I just ran this through my die cutting machine. Now I did ask Dawn if she could show this on the TV, because can you see how deeply that's actually embossed? This is the deboss on the back. Now obviously I'm showing this on white. It's quite bright in here, so it's not the best light to show it in, but hopefully you can see it. Let me see if there's this. There we go. There you go, that's better. So look how deeply embossed that is. Now, all you need to do is run that through your die cutting machine with your embossing mat. Okay, so like your embossing rubber mat. Now, these stencils, when you get them home, you'll notice these are really thick. They're not the thickest. We can go thicker than this, but when you go too thick with a stencil, you actually end up, when you're inking around, you actually end up with a smaller image because it can't hit the edge of the stencil, because the stencil's too deep if the stencils are too thick. So most companies use a 190 micron film for this, which is what we've used in the past. So up until now, ours have always been on the thinner material. Now, we all love an embossing folder, don't we? And we all love, I think everybody forgets about embossing their stencils. This is what stencils kind of are, it's the secondary use for them. So basically, I've now made the executive decision that we're going to produce our stencils on this thicker material. And what that means is that you get a deeper emboss. And so you can actually just run them through your die cutting machine. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just emboss with an embossing stencil, an embossing tool, and you're going to need something soft underneath. You can do a little stack of newspaper if you haven't got a rubber mat, or I find foam doesn't really work as well. But anyway, I need to get on. So let's show you the others. So that's the Christmas tree. Now these are in a bundle of 4, and they're at an amazing price, which is why this all sold out and we had to do an extended delivery. This is called Mandala Snowflake. This is gorgeous. Now, this is definitely not just for Christmas. This is an all year round stencil. So, don't, you know, you've got kind of multi uses here. Now, I want to show you this one. Look at how well that's embossed. You see, I thought I might have to like colour these in, but actually I don't think I really need to. Obviously, you can colour these and then emboss them, or you can emboss them and then colour. I would tend to colour it first and then emboss it. I think it'll be easier. But look at the deep, deep emboss. Look, even on the back. Look, now I do have a tip for you. If you do want to emboss like this, the softer your cardstock, the better the emboss. So this is actually a random cardstock that I've used for these, and I don't know where I've got it from. It's just in my stash somewhere. It's just like a batch of it, like, you know. Now, what I would say is, don't use your premium quality super smooth card for this. Well, you can try it, but I'm pretty convinced that the softer cardstock that you have, which generally has a wider tooth, and if you don't know what the tooth is in card and paper, basically what that means, you'll know this from when I used to teach you all colouring, but basically the tooth is the actual fibres of the paper or the card, and the tooth is measured by how dense those fibres are squashed together. So when they're actually, you know, when you're paper making, they're laying it down. It's, if you've ever made paper at home, it's an amazing thing. And they do it exactly the same in a factory. It's just all mechanized. But basically, they get fibre, tree fibre, wood fibre, pulp, and it's basically boiled and soaked, and lots of different chemicals and things put into it. And it's laid onto, this is the traditional method, it's laid onto big screens, and all the water and all the liquid drains away, and you're left with the pulp, and the pulp is allowed to dry. Now, when you buy a watercolour card, sorry, I'm rambling on. When you buy watercolour cardstock, if you get a really expensive watercolour cardstock or paper, they will most likely be done in that traditional method. And it means that you just, the paper just literally goes and soaks up all the ink. Now, when you get a super smooth cardstock, that has been literally pressured and pressured and pressurized. So that makes the tooth much smaller. So it's like about the space between the fibers. That's the best way I can describe it. So that's what your tooth is. And to emboss, because you're actually putting pressure through this, you want it to be softer. So the softer your material that you emboss on, generally, I mean, obviously not too soft, but generally you'll get a better emboss. So for instance, on paper, you would get a much deeper emboss. So anyway, here's the other one. So this is number 3, Hello Winter. I love this one. It's so cute. So this all comes out beautifully embossed. This bit here actually debosses because it's the negative. This is like the positive and this is the negative. This is really a mask rather than a stencil. But again, this is what you're going to end up with. Now, this one, this is a little tip for you on this one. So, this is what happens. Can you see this area, which is this, is all debossed on here? Can you see that? Look how deep that has come out. I'm just so impressed with these. I've been wanting to do this for such a long time. And then the bit that's debossed on the stencil comes out as embossed. It's the negative. So on the back, you actually have the emboss, which is the lifted bit. Okay. So when I did this, I thought, oh yeah, I've done that the wrong way around. So all you need to do to get that nice crispness, because on the deboss, because it presses in, you get a really nice crisp edge. When it goes to the emboss, like this, you kind of get a softer edge, okay? So that's how you know if you put your stencil the wrong way around. So what you can do with this is when you put it through, flip it over like that, and then you will end up with an embossed stencil. Can you see that? So it's actually embossed. So the deboss is where it presses in, the emboss is where it raises up. So you've got two different options. So it's up to you which you prefer. So you can kind of see there, this one is a bit crisper because it's debossed. This one is more puffy because it's embossed. But either way, that's just fab. I love that. Love, 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 love that one. And then number 4 out of this set is the Holly Swirl. Now this one is just gorgeous. And I am actually going to show you this one because it's so pretty. So again, A5, so you can just use a bit of it if you want to. But I'm kind of fed up of having just small stencils that then I kind of run out of stencil on my project if it's bigger. So I'm just going to say hello to Maxine and Anna as well. Hello, ladies. So this is what you achieve. I mean, isn't that pretty? This is like almost an embossing folder quality. Obviously on an embossing folder, because you've got both sandwiches pressing together, it extrudes it more, so you get a deeper emboss. But for embossing a stencil, you are going to be really hard pushed to get it better than this. It just comes out fabulously. Now, if you... Gosh, we're down at... lost 20 minutes already. I might come back and emboss this later on. I actually love it just white. I love white embossing. It's actually my favourite, one of my favourite techniques. But in terms of embossing, I love it when you just leave it white like this. So just fab. If you find as well it doesn't emboss great and it's not that deep, like I said, try a different card. Or what you can do, don't move your stencil. What I do is when I emboss it, just to check, I do tape it down when I emboss it, by the way. So put it down, tape it down on 3 edges so it's really secure, and then when you take it out of your machine, just lift that edge and then you can see whether it's actually a deep emboss or not. And if it isn't, you can then just lay it back down and you could put it through again. You need to remember which way round to do it on as well. I mean, I frequently, when I've not done it for a while, I frequently mess up and then don't forget which way round. So they are the 4 Christmas stencils. Whoops, you can't see on that camera, can you? Must be really bright in here or something. Doesn't seem like it's especially bright. Let me go to that one. Where are we? Let's go there. That's better. So 4 Christmas stencils, and I think they're just over £10. I think they might be £10.98 for the bundle. So amazing value, because as you know, our stencils generally are £5.99 each. So what's that? 4 6s, £24 they should normally be, and so that is less than half price. I just wanted to do you a really good deal on these because they're just fab, and I want everyone to be able to afford to get them. So you're going to be using those all year, especially not all year, all over Christmas you're going to be using them. But obviously the mandala you can use. Now, the other thing I want to show you that you'll have seen on yesterday's show, and I'm super, super excited about, is our new woodies. And you guys have been absolutely loving the woodies, and I think it's because they're a little bit different, and it kind of opens up your crafting into other areas that you might not have ever ventured in before. I've had so many messages and comments from people saying, oh, I'd love to try MDF, but I just, I've never done it before, I'm a bit anxious about it. This is the way, because my kind of aim with the MDF is, yeah, we have these kits and things, but I really want to bring it into our paper crafting as well, because, we all can get stuck in a rut, and it's about bringing you things that inspire you to maybe make something a bit different. So let's have a look at these. So you are going to get 4 sheets of MDF. Now this is 2mm, okay, so it's 2mm thick. So when we refer to that, it means the thickness of the actual MDF board we use. Now on these, we use 2mm so that it's better for card making. if we were making a big kit, a big 3D kit that you're going to assemble and it's going to sit on a shelf or whatever, or a decoration, we would make that out of 3 because it's heavier and a bit more stable. But when you're making cards, postage is an issue that we all think about now. It's so expensive to post. I mean, we've got away for years in the UK with cheap postage from Royal Mail. That just isn't the case anymore. It's literally like every 6 months they're putting the prices up. And it's as much to send Royal Mail as it almost is to send on somewhere like Every or anything now. So anyway, so that's why we do them on the 2mm. It means that you can put them on a card. It doesn't weigh too much. It doesn't bulk it out, and it's good to use. So you've got a second sheet there full of baubles, full of frames. You've got more frames and stars here. Now, you can see by my hand, this is big, okay? And there's a reason for that. And then the fourth one is this sheet. Now, I've got to just bring in something else here. So, these were designed specifically to work with the Yuletide Christmas collection. So even if you have this already, if you already bought Yuletide, sorry, I'm flicking the cameras. I'm a bit all over the place today. I'm really tired today. I don't know why. I slept in this morning. And then, you know, it's like you're kind of a bit behind then, aren't you, for the rest of the day? I specifically made these to go with the Yuletide Christmas collection, okay? And basically, what it means is, and the reason I'm doing this live is to show you these because I kind of felt like they didn't really get shown yesterday to the sort of full extent of how you can use them. Dawn did a good job explaining, but you kind of need to see them. So basically, let me lift that up like that. So basically, this is the whole... That's a bit blurred now. Why has the camera gone blurred? Come on. It's tracking me. There you go. So on your packaging here, it's going to show you. So these are the stamps and the dies and the layering stencils from the Yuletide Christmas collection. So if you bought Yuletide Christmas last year, get this kit because it's going to mix and match with it, and it's going to breathe new life back into that kit if you used it last year and you're thinking, oh, I don't know if I want another kit, you know, don't know if I want to use that. I used it last year, because that's the thing, isn't it? For me it is anyway. It's kind of like you always imagine that everyone will remember that you used a Christmas stag on their card last year. It's not the case, honestly. I can assure you nobody will ever remember what Christmas card you sent them last year, unless you're my mum and dad who send each other the same card every single year. Honestly, how tight's that? It's hilarious. So she just puts the cards away every year and gets them out the next year again. Anyway, basically, you don't have to use them this way. It's an independent kit that you can use however you want it. But I have sized this so that the stamps fit the MDF. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. And I've got, oh, I must not do that. Don't put, this is why my cursor keeps going wrong, because I keep putting things on top of my thing. Things on top of my thing. You know what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to grab my, for instance, I'm going to grab the Vintage Stag collection. Okay, so let me put these out of the way because this is a new kit. I'm going to give one of these kits away, by the way, everyone. So enter win in the comments and I'm going to send this kit to somebody. Okay, so you're going to get this whole kit, which is, I think it's $12.99. This, by the way, that's an absolute steal for $12.99 as well. It should be £20. There's a lot of material in that. And you get, I think it's 67 pieces. Yeah, 67 pieces in that. It's huge. And it's not just for using with your vintage Christmas collection either. Now, I did put a video on the product listing for this. So this is what you're going to get. Now, I'm just going to bring that back because I haven't got some pieces. So first of all, let me zoom out. Let's zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just going to put them to a side for a second. So this baby, and this is kind of why, one of the reasons, this is what sparked my idea to do this. Okay, so we sold out of the snow globe die a long time ago. I think we sold out of it last year. I don't think there's even one left in stock. Okay, and so when I was going through the warehouse, obviously we go through the warehouse, kind of work out what, what stock have we got and everything. And I said to Chris, we're going to put the Christmas Yuletide collection back onto Hobbymaker again. I said, but we haven't got the snow globe dies, which is a shame. So I've made this snow globe to fit the snow globe set. Let me just grab it. So this is your snow globe stamps, okay? And so I wanted anyone that didn't get this collection last year to be able to make a 3D snow globe. So what you can do is you can just stamp into this. So look, fits it perfectly. And you've got a little stand here. So what you're going to do is you're going to stamp onto there, and then your little snow globe, you put these two pieces together, and your snow globe, sometimes it's easy. Ooh, come on, Nikky. I'm a bit, like I say, I'm a bit all over the place today. Okay, that will all just glue together, and you just fit it together like that, and you're going to use your stamp and stamp into it. Now, not only does it fit that stamp, but it will also fit your wreath, which kind of goes into the middle of it. So it's going to fit that as well. Okay, so you can make a two-sided snow globe if you want. You could have one globe on that side, one on this side. Now, I didn't think about this, but I don't know. I think there somewhere, I'm trying to see in the set. I'm not sure if there's a frame for that. There isn't. Sorry, I was wondering if there was a circle frame to go around it, but I don't think I could fit it on. But there is a frame. There is a circle frame here. Oh no, sorry, that's a bauble. I was thinking it was. But look, you've got other pieces. So if you wanted to, you could actually mount these extra pieces, and you could, you can layer them up as well, and you can do all sorts with these. So this is why this kit exists. I want you to be able to, because like, look, you can just stamp into this. Now, stamp wise, this is what I would do. I would just get a sanding block or a piece of sandpaper and just lightly sand the surface of your MDF, because it is wood at the end of the day, and it does have like little undulations and little kind of lumps and bumps. So just lightly sand that off. And that's also a good tip as well. If you don't like, I actually like the burnt edges from the laser. I think it makes it look really vintagey. But if you don't like that, just sanding it. You can see I'm only doing it very lightly. I'm not like gripping it or anything. But if you just sand that lightly, it actually removes that burn mark. Can you see? But also it smooths the area out for stamping on. So little tip for that. And what I would use, ink-wise, use something juicy. Now, I know Stays On is meant to be like a permanent ink, but personally, my Stays On inks, I find them very dry. So they're not particularly juicy. I don't know if it's because I've had them a long time. I don't use them. I never use them, to be honest. VersaFine is my go-to. I use this because it picks up all the fine details that you would use. The other thing that you could use, I mean, obviously you could use your distress inks if you want to. The other really juicy ink pad that I would use is the Versafine, is it Versafine Clay? What are they called? I can never remember what they're called. Yeah, Versafine Clay. These ones. So these, I've got these, and I don't use these either. I don't know why. I just don't. I tend not to stamp in coloured ink. I think that's why. But anyway, so let me just show you then how that's going to work. I actually have some. I have one already stamped here that I can show you. Okay, so look, this is what I did. So I just used that big wreath there. And then there's also on the snow globe set, look, you've got this lovely swag here. So then that's just going to sit in there like that. Now on the other side, and then you can just colour it in. But look, on the other side, I stamped my snow globe. So I've got a double-sided one as well. So you've got extra bits here, which also fit and kind of, let me get rid of the stand. It's easy to just put the stand on last, really. These bits fit like that, okay? And then you've also got a little piece here, which you can then place in there, and you can actually stamp a sentiment on there. And just to prove it, the Let It Snow stamp out of the snow globe set. So this all fits snow globe, okay? If you that will actually fit minus the snowflake, okay? But you can actually just stamp that into there. So really cute idea. If you want it, if you got two of these, look, you could actually put, well, you could put two together. Do you know what would be quite nice though? I wonder if, what if you did, just playing around now, just an idea. Look, you could do something like that and make like a double. Glue the base together. I would put a bit of cardstock underneath that and glue it together. It's just an idea. I don't know. You could put snowflakes in the middle of it or something like that. But anyway, so you get the picture. Now, the other thing that you can do if you wanted is, I've already, say for instance this one, I actually had the die. So look, just to show you that if you have the dies, you could, in fact, actually, this is a mask. Yeah, it's a mask. So this is using the snow globe die though. So look, just to show you that I made them bigger than the actual dies so that you can actually layer things up. So you could use your die cuts and decorate them that way if you didn't want to stamp directly onto it. So that's the snow globe. Right, let me get back to what I was showing you, which was the stag one. So you have here this lovely panel with the word joy in it. I just love this. I've got a real thing about text and words. It is my thing. Now, these go together. You don't have to. Again, you can use these how you want, but they do go together because they're frames. So look, this has got the holes for you to actually use this to hang. So this you could put onto a tree, but look how big this is. It's massive. It's a good, well, it's just 6 inches basically. So a 6-inch decoration or an ornament that you could just hang on a tree. Obviously you're going to need a sturdy branch for this one. It's a little bit heavier. Now you do also have an inner frame as well, which does fit in there, but personally I would use that for something else, or I would maybe like jaunty angle it. You've got the word joy here as well. You see, look how it all builds up. Look how pretty it is. Honestly, these just blow me away. I absolutely am in love with this concept. So I'm gonna get, I did actually decorate a few the other day to make the video, so I'm gonna just use what I've already done. So here, look. So I stamped my stag here. And look at him when you've done him. Look. Now just imagine putting that onto, like, just decorating it. I've got a white pen. It would just look lovely. Really lovely. In fact, look. I don't think a gel pen works very well on MDF. Let me just... Oh, it might do. So look, what we could do, you don't even have to really decorate it as such. It's not the ideal thing, a gel pen, but you might get away with it. I kind of found before that when I was using this, you see how you could just soften that, just lightly brush your finger over it, but you could just highlight those little areas. So, because there's a lot of detail in this stamp, and you get with the gel pens, can you hear it? It's scratchy, which is actually quite nice in a way. You kind of, because there's a lot of lines, it's kind of like an etched design, and then when you scratch your gel over it, it kind of like gives you similar effect. So, you know, you could just do that, just highlight some little areas, maybe like a little bit around his face, like he's got, because if you can kind of lose a little bit of the detail on this one if you're not careful, but, and put a little highlight in his eyes, and then he's actually looking out at you. So let's just have a go and just kind of add a little bit of colour to this, shall we? I want to show you how well it colours up. So look, we've got all these trees here in the background. And this isn't just, this stag, by the way, is definitely not just for Christmas. You could use this at lots of other times as well. It's just a general kind of good stencil to use. Stencil, stamp. Now, let me grab some blue. So one of the tricks I find to creating a nice background is to not go too busy with your colours. Just have a couple of colours in and try and make them match. So I want everything to be a bit bluey. And so immediately it's kind of like gone all the way back. Get your little detail brushes. We're actually sold out of these, but they are on order yet again. We keep having to reorder and reorder and reorder. You love these brushes. So look, you can just go in, and I'm just going to leave him brown because I've not even coloured him now. Look how easy that is. Now you do get layering stencils with this that you can use to actually colour the stamps. So if you've bought those bundles, don't forget the layering stencils colorise the stamps themselves. So, you know, you can do it that way. That, oh, it's so traditional, but it's just gorgeous because, you know, men, you know, it's hard, isn't it? Maybe, I don't know, maybe you've got a granddad or a man in the family who maybe lives alone or whatever, and you just never know what to get him. You know, doing something like this is perfect. It's a gift. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to see if I've got a marker I can use. So look, I just want to, I'm going to just colour this in. So if you've got a Posca marker, anything like that, brush marker, oh, look how quiet I've gone. Let's put a pen in my hand, get my colour in. think this is running out, this pen. It's an old one. Just a cheapie paint marker. I'm going quite fast, to be fair. It's with the acrylic markers, you kind of need to go a little bit more slow. It is paint at the end of the day. Now it will soak in because MDF's absorbent, but that's nice because it kind of gives you a bit of a subtle effect. But imagine just putting a bit of ribbon. Just grab this. This is the ribbon out of my t-shirt, you know, like the t-shirt that holds it in. But look, how lovely is that? Or if you were making them to sell them at a craft fair. Can you imagine? I think someone would easily pay £3 or £4 for that at a craft fair, because if they saw them, it's totally different, isn't it? Nobody else is making this. You know, I actually like with MDF, because it's so 3D, I like to really maximize like the 3D element and have things hanging off and stuff, so hanging off the edges. So you could put it there, you could put it there, but I don't think it really works. You could use the O to hide the tag bit, look, and you could put it there and actually have your hanger at the top. That would work well as well. So you do whatever you want with them, you know, but I just, anyway, I need to show you everything else in the kit because I'm nowhere near showing you. Look, there's that little sentiment, look. So, you know, ignore that it says let it snow, but, you know, you could just layer things up, you know, because you can still layer them. You know, just use, I don't know, a bit of 3D glue gel or a bit of wood glue. I prefer wood glue, but sometimes you need your 3D glue gel. It doesn't matter. It can go a bit yellow because it absorbs the colour out of the MDF from around the edges. So where the lasers hit and you've got burn marks, if you're going to use your glue gel, maybe just kind of like sand that back. Look how gorgeous that looks. Do you know what? I think adding stars to anything looks amazing. I just think it always really elevates. So in the kit, look, you've got other things. So you've got these gorgeous trees. So with your trees, so much on the desk. You get the innie and the outie. That's actually not the right one. There's another one. You get another tree here. Use that one. So look, you get the innie and the outie bit. So it means that you get an extra tree. But look, you could, this is what I like to do, start layering like this and do something like this. You know, actually, maybe you put that in there. You could, the other thing as well to do with this, let me show you. Our very first woodies that we did, let me just grab it. I haven't got any Christmas papers with me, but I'll just show you what I mean. So these, what you need to do, well, you don't have to, cut around the woody and then you glue the paper to the back of it, so you've actually got a filled in paper embellishment. You could actually use this paper. It looks very Christmassy. The little daisies look like they're snowflakes. This is the Daisy paper pack that I was just using. But then you can actually make your own little embellishments. So you can build it up however you want. You know, it's completely up to you what you do with them. Absolutely love them. So that's that one. Now, let me show you what else you get. So you've got this gorgeous, gorgeous thingy, bauble. Got no words. So look, you've still got frames here. You've got baubles here. So the bauble, where's the other bauble gone? There. So look, you can decorate the baubles. Now the stag will fit the baubles. The wreath will fit the baubles. I think pretty much everything in the collection will fit the baubles. So the poinsettias will go in there. You can get all sorts. I'm going to try and do that actually in a second, but I just need to show you. Do you know, I don't want to get rid of that now. I really like what I did with him. Put him there. So look, let's just go through all the bits that you get. So I might have a couple of duplicates because I've opened a couple of kits here. So you've got your trees, you've got this gorgeous snowflake tag, but again, it's like a mandala, so that definitely isn't only for Christmas. You've got 2 candy canes, so your candy canes layer up like this. Okay, so you can cross them over if you want to, like that, or what I would do, because I'm greedy and I like to get the maximum amount out of what I'm doing, I would be probably doing it like that. So you get 2 sets or 4 candy canes. You've got extra little frames and things that drop out of other things. You've got snowflakes, loads of stars. You've got this plaque, it's like a coaster that you could just use it as a coaster and make someone a coaster. I think that's the center of that. There you go. Yeah, so that's the center of your bauble. You've then also got, oh, I'm saving one bit because there's one bit, another snowflake. You've got another small bauble there. So you've got baubles in 3 sizes, look. So 3 different baubles that you could, you know, kind of, there you go. You've got, each one's got a back. So it's like a little frame. I'm really digging the little framey bits. Don't forget you've got your snowflake. I've even given you pieces like this that you can layer up. These fit sentiments in the stamps, okay? So I went through the whole stamp sets, all the stamp sets, and I made sure that everything fits, or something fits every stamp set. You've got this and that, so that you can make a gorgeous little plaque. You could just put that, stamp it, put it on a card. It's so rustic. This is like you using craft card, but you're not. But if you put craft card with it, it'll look even more amazing. So like I said before, you've got your trees. So imagine layering your trees. Look, you could just put trees like that, layer them onto a card. It'd look amazing on a card, and a little star on the top of that one. Look, that's how I would do it. I would just literally make a card like that and just do that. Now, I've been saving my 2 favourite. I love this bauble, by the way. Gorgeous. You got other little pieces. So again, these all you can stamp into them. You have stamps that you can stamp in and use them with. I've saved 2 bits that are my favourites. This. Love this bauble. So this was specifically made to fit that stamp, can you tell? And how gorgeous does that look? Honestly, it looks really vintage, doesn't it? It looks like proper old worldy vintage. Absolutely love it. So again, you don't have to. I mean, you could overstamp, you could stamp patterns on it, you could stencil on them as well. Don't forget you've got your stencil, so you put texture on there and everything as well. Now, if you're eagle-eyed, you might have noticed my little letters. So this is my favourite bit of the whole thing. So look, you've got a little Mary, and then you've got big Christmas here as well. So you could do whatever you want with this. I mean, this is a whole other thing. Now, that Christmas is 7 inches wide. So that is big. Okay, so you might not want to put that on a card. I like making big kind of statement things, statement pieces at Christmas. I like gifting a card, you know, or making a card that is a gift. So this is how you could use that. So, for instance, see, look at that. So, look, you could, look, I just noticed that then. How nice is that? Just a bauble for your tree. Make someone a set of their own personalised baubles. If you've got alphabet stamps, put their names on it, stamp their names on and everything. So, you know, you can do all sorts. Whatever you want to do, you can do on here. So look, this is what I really like. So I'm going to put my R there. 5 letters. Line it up. Let's put our Mary there. And then let's have this over. This is my thing. I'm sorry if you see me do it all the time, but this is my thing, having things overlapping edges. I just love it. I think it really makes everything stand out from the crowd. So if you had that on your tree, you had another one there dangling, and then you had, you know, can you imagine? How nice would your tree look? I think I might have to do it, actually. Last year, I bought a load of those, you know, those paper honeycomb decorations, and I cannot believe how expensive they were. They were like, oh, I don't know. I can't believe I spent it, actually, now when I look back. And some of them were a bit trashed by the end of Christmas. You know, where they open out and then they're like this, and they open out and they kind of attach at the back, and it's like a big honeycomb puffball thing. They were about £5 each. Honestly, I didn't tell Chris. But the local garden centre had them and I loved them so much. I was just like a bit obsessed. You know, when you kind of keep going back to look at something. And I was like, I really need to get these. I love them. And so I just went one day without him and sneaked him in. He never even noticed. You know what I mean? Like, they don't notice anything, do they? But look at that. How lovely. These you could put, you've got so many little stars. You could put extra little stars on. Decorate it how you want it to be. So that is the Woodies kit. So like I say, you're getting all of that, 67 pieces, and it will fit all of these stamps. Now, we didn't have the Snowy Tree bundle on yesterday because I don't know if it's sold out, but we don't have a lot of it. Your snowmen are going to fit, your bells will fit, your vintage poinsettias are going to fit as well, your bird. That was the thing. I wanted to just show you that the poinsettias will actually fit. So let me grab those. Let's just do a very quick little, usage of the poinsettias. See, look, I've got some things here. Oh, look, these are left over. These are sort of semi-half demo things from last year, but look, just add things, just add it. You know, this is the thing. People say, oh, I'm a bit worried about it. I'm a bit nervous. Don't be nervous. Just, how lovely is that? It really lifts everything up. You know, you just, look, you could put a little sentiment there. It just completely, this is a half done piece of a demo that I never finished on telly, I think. You know, and it was scrap. I just didn't want to scrap it because I like the bird. But you know, just to show you what it looks like when you start actually assembling things onto cards and things like that. Look, I've got a tag here. Look, how nice would that be? And putting your texture paste on. Put your texture paste around the outsides and everything. Right, okay. So let me just stamp. Grab my stamp platform here. Now, I'm going to just tape it down. So just still tape it into your platform, okay? I haven't sanded this, so it might not be the best in the world, but we'll see how we get on. Where's my ink? Do you know, I'm going to use the... Oh, hang on. I'm going to use the fine crayons. I've got a red here, I think. Let's see how it comes out in red. I never stamp in colour, like I said. Oh, it's nice and juicy. I think my VersaFine's running out a bit. So I'm just going to go off the edge a bit. Thank you all for joining me. Lots of you here. Are you having your lunch? I must admit I'm a bit hungry now. Just a little bit more ink just in there. Just in that bit there. These are big stamps, so sometimes you just need to press a little bit harder. Oh, how lush is that? Isn't that lovely? So let me grab, oh, just lost my ink pad, my brush. Mind. Oh, if you could have got, honestly, my desk. I'm going to show you what my desk looks like. Look, this is me all over. This is exactly what happens to me. Now, I was going to do that in red, but I'm not going to. I'm going to get this ink, this green. It's a really nice dark. I don't know whether I've ever done this before with these inks. Let's see what happens. Let's just blend a little bit. Nice. Nice and juicy, aren't they? See, I'm bad, aren't I? We're bad, aren't we? We're all the same. Get this stuff. None of us use it. I want you to use these, though. So, and then I'm going to grab my selvage patina. And let's just build a bit of extra colour in here. Bit dry. It's very warm in here though, so it might just be, look, that's come out a really nice colour, hasn't it? So, and then, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just grab my holly stencil and let's just see if we can, oh, that ain't going to work. Pressing it in, they're too deep to press your ink in, but look. So lots of ink on here because I want it to really stand out. Oh, oh no, damn. Oh, just spilt a load of water. My cup's just gone over. Never mind. Luckily, there's nothing near it, I don't think. Crikey. Honestly, I'm a disaster. Oh, that looks nice. Yes, liking that, girls, ladies. Okay, get all this stuff, all these gubbins out of the way. So, and then, where's my white jelly? So look, let's just put do some, there's some like little berries and things on here, so I'm just gonna, I don't know what it is. I mean, this is totally unplanned. Hope that isn't going through you too much, but it just lifts it, doesn't it? You just have something a bit extra. And let's see, what sentiments have we got here? We've got a cute little postage stamp and acorn. So you could put all sorts on here. Let's do, it's a little Merry Christmas there. Now, where's my thing gone? So, what I'm going to do is, let's colorise the frame. Let's do it in a nice bright red. Just wanted to show you that you can make projects really quickly with MDF as well, because you're using kind of bigger things. And what I love about it, the reason I think it works so well, is that it gives you a vintagey feel, a rustic feel, because of the colour of it. You can't colour too brightly because it soaks everything up. So look, what if we did See, look, my joy is no longer, well, it is white, but it's all got really pared back as it's soaked in. And this is how I use my MDF. This is how I colorise it most of the time. Yes, I use markers as well for like little dainty bits and things. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. I haven't got any texture paste with me. But what I do have here, I've got some waxes. So let's just grab a little bit of wax. Let's just put a little bit. I don't want to do too much. Just a hint to lift it. Now, a little tip for you. This is such a cool tip, okay? I've used gold there. I never ever use gold on its own or any other colour. What I do, I will always add silver, and what that does is it actually does, by mixing the two colours together, for some reason it actually makes it look like it's proper metal. So always, my little tip, always use silver when you use your waxes. Just a tiny bit. You don't need to go over the top with it at all, but it'll just completely change how it looks. So a bit around there. So however, on this one I am going to just dab more gold on this, not too much, don't want it to be too much, and go kind of try and mix it together but without making it muddy if you can. You see it? So look, and you've just got that shimmer on there. Then obviously you could put all of your glitters in there and everything if you wanted to. Where have they gone? There with me. Oh no, that's not it. If you wanted to, you could put some acetate in, and you could actually make shaker baubles with these. So you could easily, obviously I haven't, but you know, you could easily make a nice shaker in there. Isn't that pretty? With your joy on the top. You know, it's up to you how you want to use them, but they're just fab. You're going to love them. All right, let me just clean my hands up, and I will let you all go and get your lunch and pick a winner. So yeah, look at that mess. Okay, so let me pick a winner. Where are we? I'm going to try and make it fair. There's quite a few of you that have already won on here today, I think. So, oh, Bev Eden. Hello, Bev. Maxine, hi. Gillian, hi. Garden centres at Christmas are fatal. They absolutely are. And we're only like 2 miles from ours, and it's a really good one. They have like, oh my God, they make the whole floor Christmas. It's incredible. Oh, that's interesting. I'm using the black VersaFine Claire instead of the VersaFine now, as it's so juicy but still great for fine detail. Well, I might as well. Right, okay. Let me see. Who am I going to pick? I think just right. Who's Angie? Angie. Oh, Auntie. And I don't know if it's Angie or Angie Asbach. Hello from Germany. Hello. Right, okay. The winner today. I'm just randomly doing this, guys. I can't pick. I'm just going to randomly pick. Okay, so I'm shutting my eyes and there. Gillian Wilson. Well done, Gillian. Congratulations. So, Gillian, you are going to win a whole set of woodies. So, this is what you're going to get. So, you're going to get this kit, okay? So, you're going to get all of that to decorate and use with all your stamps. Like I say, it doesn't have to only be the Yuletide Christmas. It's just that it was designed to work with it size-wise. So, Gillian, can you email me at website@polkadoodles.co.uk and I'll sort your price out for you. I'll need you, if you can send me your address and we'll get that sorted for you. So, has anyone got any more questions or not? I really shouldn't lean into the screen like that, should I? See all the bags under my eyes today. So, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the Hobby Maker shows. If you haven't watched them yet, I'm actually trying to get the downloads of the shows onto the website, but I've been struggling this morning with it. But you can head over to the Hobby Maker website and watch it there, and watch Dawn's demos. Pretty much everything did sell out. So if you do want anything, I would actually say go to our website because there's extra bits and pieces. We couldn't make more bundles than we've got, but we do have like extra bits of individual items and things. So there might be extras. I know quite a few people sort of found some of the extra dies and things that we had available as part of the same collection. So I'm going to head off. I will be back on Sunday, so Sunday at noon again. I don't know what we're going to make yet. I don't know. Got to come up with something. Very often I come up with something about 10 minutes before. I think I work well under pressure. Anyway, if you did buy the collection yesterday or bought anything from Hobby Maker from us, thank you so much for your support. We really, really appreciate it as a small business. Sometimes we feel like we're a little minnow amongst lots of giant whales. So we really appreciate every single order that we do get. It kind of supports our family. We're not a great big global corporation with dozens of staff and all of that. It literally supports us and keeps us going when you buy from us. So we really do appreciate your support. Right, I am going to go. I'm going to go grab a drink and a sandwich. I'm going to go mop up this drink that I've just spilled. It's in a really awkward place. God, I'm going to have to move a lot of stuff to get there. Enjoy your Friday and Saturday, and I hope to see you on Sunday at 12. Okay, thanks so much. Bye, everyone. Bye to the people on the design team. Thank you all, lovelies. Thanks. Bye-bye.